fuck. Are
What,
you
Kayla? What?
serious?
What, Kayla? What? It's my
You
experience. This is my
always do
experience.
this.
No,
You
this is my
always
experience. Well, it's not a tit for tat. It's not a tit for tat. It's my experience. It's mine.
just every time I
It
find
is
something
what it is. Like, I'm sorry. I did it because I wanted to. I did it because I wanted
new.
to. I did it.
Fuck. Oh
Oh
my
my God. I can't.
gosh.
Well, okay then. Fine. Whatever. I don't care. Shut up, Liv. These people are a mess. I'm officially over Kaylor
Bro.
and Aaron. They could go.
Somebody rescue Kaylor, please. She
She
just needs
doesn't
to
want to
take
be
a nap.
rescued.
She needs some water and a nap.
She doesn't want to be rescued. She doesn't want to be. Because the minute she has a chance, she'll last like a second and then she'll be like, it's so hard to stay mad at you, Aaron. You gave me a
Brandon,
seashell.
a
Like,
fucking
stupid.
seashell? Are
What are
you
we
serious,
accepting?
bitch?
I can't.
A seashell. That's all?
It's,
Like, it's the thought that counts.
is it? Because it didn't take much thought. So why
Not
does
at
that count?
all. That's the dustiest seashell I've ever seen in my whole life. It was so small.
And it's
That's
on like
all
one
it
of
took.
those chains you get from like a dog tag. Like it's not even like a nice like chain.
Oh my gosh.
I could not.
All he needs to do is something semi thoughtful, and she is back on his side.
He just
They're
needs to
not
like,
winning.
no, not at this rate, which I guess is the saving grace, I suppose, of all this.
What's the O for anyway? His name is Aaron Evans.
The O. Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
his necklace, like the thing is a circle. It looks like an O to me or a zero.
I don't know. Maybe his middle name? Or maybe it's for
Mm,
someone. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe.
I try not
I
to
was-
think too deeply about anything having to do with Aaron. I hate him. He's the
He's the
worst.
worst. In unison, he's the worst.
Uh,
Oh
but
gosh.
I will say, because hey y'all, welcome to the shade of it all. I'm
Welcome to the
Brandon.
shade of it all. I'm Magdala.
We're gonna be covering episodes 27, 28, and 29 of Love Island USA season 6. I will say we were talking about it before. These episodes were kind of not that eventful, but we kind of appreciated it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
needed a little cleanser, a little
yeah.
because we were going off before. There was a lot of emotions in these
hmm
episodes. It was nice to have like not much happen.
Yeah, these were a little more chill. Everybody's kind of coming to their fucking senses.
Kind of
The drugs they took in Casa are wearing off. They're being normal
ish.
ish.
Relationships are
Brandon,
being solidified.
they are. I will say something that kind of makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Somebody leaves, and that person was on TikTok this week, basically said that they don't sleep a lot. He said that they like go to bed at like 3 and then they're waking up by 8 or 9. So being sleep deprived makes a lot of sense for some of this behavior,
Oh
namely
yeah.
Kaylor consistently in tears. Like she needs a nap. You guys need to give her some water. Let her, she's young, let her sleep.
They should let them nap more because it's not like they do something every day. They're like just walking around the villa, hanging out.
Right. I'm sure they do take naps, but yeah, I don't understand the late nights and early mornings thing. That doesn't really make sense to me because it's like, what are you doing all night? You know?
I
I
guess
don't
because they
know.
don't even drink that much. They have like a
They
two
don't.
drink minimum or something.
And I guess it's wine. Yeah, and they all get 2 drinks, and I guess they play ping pong to sometimes wager them off if somebody doesn't want them. So occasionally they'll get 3 or 4. But yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
interesting.
that.
Yeah, we learned a lot on TikTok this week. I'll get into it later.
We did learn quite a bit. But before we get into that, let's dive into these episodes because
Yep.
episode 27 picked right back up with movie night. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I they could have kept all this. Well, not all of this, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like they should have showed
Yeah.
more because there was still stuff left.
I just wanted them to expose Rob. Like, y'all put Leah on blast. Can we please have a clip of Rob so that you guys can understand why Leah called him a bitch?
That part, I'm like, why is there nothing like villainizing Rob? Instead, we get clips that were trying to like, even in this episode, people were trying to victimize Rob. And I'm like, what is this fake story? Like, is this real?
I
We'll
don't know
get
why
into
they're
it.
pushing it. I don't know why they're pushing it.
Yeah, but the guys win whatever the question was in the game and they choose Gone Girl. And
Mm-hmm.
it's basically the saddest montage of Serena crying over Kordell, her
Mm-hmm.
seeing the videos from Casa, her reaction after, and her just looking sad and talking about how she missed him and she just feels stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just crying while watching. The girls are consoling her. The guys look shook, Kendall and Rob in particular. And
Mm-hmm.
what's his name? Kordell is just very, he's like sinking into the couch and just feels terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Yeah.
I appreciate at least that he didn't pull what someone else does in a little bit and like fight with her and be like, I already apologize. Like he
I
feels
said sorry,
bad
bitch.
seeing her feel bad, right? Like he actually genuinely cares that Serena's hurt and feels bad watching it.
Yes, he doesn't say anything, but in the like during the game, but in the confessional, he's like it made him feel like shit watching it and stuff. Even it's funny that you mention Aaron because while the video is playing, he's like, "Man, they're just trying to make us look dirty. They're just trying to make us look bad." And I was like, "You are
You're showing what you
something
did.
else."
Yes.
Someone diagnose this man as soon as possible. There's something wrong with him.
No, he's just like annoyed and like feels like they're being attacked, but it's like they're not going to show anything of the girls because they didn't do anything.
Yeah, like, yeah. I
And
think
they
for
wouldn't be
him,
able to show this if you didn't do it.
that part,
Anyways.
it's like you're wrong. You're defensive. You're upset that people are showing like exposing you. But it's like that's just kind of how it goes, man. I don't know what you want. Like you want it to end, but it's like I, I don't know. He's really being annoying. I understand his frustration a little bit, but like it's you see it night and day. The way Kordell behaves and responds to seeing clips of him showing his ass versus how Aaron responds is like two stark differences, right?
Yes.
Kordell takes accountability. He feels bad. He feels remorse. He doesn't blame Serena. Aaron wants Aaron feels rage, frustration, and he wants to get upset at people for like exposing him. It's stupid. It's really stupid.
It is.
Um
And it's just, I don't know. It shows their maturity too.
it does. It really does. How old is Aaron again?
I think he's older than Cordell. I want to guess
He's
Aaron's
26.
27. Oh, 26. And Cordell's only
Yeah.
22. You
Cordell is
know, I
22.
saw, is Liv 21?
Let's see. Let's see. Wait, oh, she's not on this. Let me look it up.
Someone said it,
21? She's a
I think on
baby.
Twitter. I know, and I'm like, she didn't give me 21. She gave me like, because she seemed more mature. I don't know.
Olivia Kaiser. Oh, Olivia Liv Walker.
Olivia,
Walker. Olivia Walker, not Kaiser. She is 22 as well. Oh, yeah,
22.
she gave much more mature.
She did. She seemed more wise than a lot of the other girls.
Yeah, way more.
But,
That's just interesting.
we'll get to live at some point.
Yeah.
Not to jump ahead. But yeah, so Cordell
That
feels
was
terrible about the Serena video. It was funny though. He was like, I told y'all not to pick this one. Why'd y'all pick it?
it's so funny how the guys are picking and they're still picking the worst clips.
They
Like
are.
they've picked the majority of the clips and shit still hit the fan. Like they're
I
not helping
know.
themselves. Daya reassures Serena, which I thought was nice because Serena instantly starts crying while watching this and she feels dumb. And Kaylor comforts her, Daya comforts her, which I thought was nice.
That was nice. Yeah, it seemed like her and Serena kind of built like a friendship or a bond of some sort, which is nice.
I
And
agree.
she's
Yeah,
like,
they
you already
did.
saw all this, so like don't let it affect you too much. And she's
Yeah.
like, you're right.
Yeah.
Um, but it's so hard when you see it because they're seeing what we see. So it's like they're watching the show and they see
Mm-hmm.
how they're being perceived and how they look on this show. It's crazy
Yeah,
while
it
they're on the
is.
show.
It's wild. You're like, this shit really was recorded, huh?
Oh, I guess so.
Aaron's putting all the pieces together. I am on a TV show. Damn.
Interesting. I didn't see this coming.
I didn't.
Um,
He's like, this is not like traders at all.
this
Everybody's gonna hate me.
I'm being exposed right away. Uh, the
um,
guys win the second one and they
mhm,
choose Forgetting Leah Marshall. And it was basically just showing Miguel and Sierra in the villa and like their makeout sessions.
mhm.
And Miguel was just like, why are they showing this angle? Because he was like saying he looked bad from the angles. And it's a little awkward. He kind of gives this weird apology where he has like an accent.
Yeah.
He's like making fun, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I didn't like his reaction, even though he made the point like he was honest and he didn't do anything wrong. And Leah had said even in Aftersun, she's like, he didn't owe me anything. Like we had just started like 2 days before Casa. So like I
Mhm.
get that, but it's different from saying it when you get back and from when they actually see it. So you
Yeah.
could at least apologize for them having to see it.
Yeah, like his reaction is like deflecting. He's like, I don't, it wasn't that bad. And like he's just being trying to be goofy and funny and like make light of it, but it's really awkward. And Leah
Yeah.
doesn't look too happy watching it. She's just like, gross.
Yeah.
I mean, his angles weren't the best. He does look goofy on TV.
He does sometimes. I'm like, you don't look like your Insta pictures.
You don't get a chance to pose here, right? Like and check
Interesting.
and pick the best one.
Yes.
Um
AI
Sierra?
Sierra did, oh, were you gonna say she apologized to Leah? She's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Leah.
Not
And Leah's like,
AI, Serena.
Leah's just like, it's okay. Like, you did nothing wrong. And trust me, I would say it. And she's like, you would, girl.
Brandon.
She is
I
AI.
can't believe the way you see her is so funny to me, but
She
I did
loses
not
it.
peep it like that.
Well, she loses it a little in the next episode, but we'll get
Oh
into it.
yeah. When she meets that man, we see a new Who is
She
this
gets
girl?
fully charged.
Did she?
She's like, wait a minute. I'm
That's
like, who's
so
this?
funny.
Uh,
Your impressions of Leah make me love her even more. Like she's so much herself
she is.
with her deep ass voice. Like she's just so unique. Like Leah, we love you. I love you.
I love it too. Like she's just amazing. I saw someone on Twitter. She has a podcast. The reality is it mainly covers Bravo. Her name's Noor. And she was like, Leah needs to be on every reality show. They need to reboot Shaws of Sunset and have
Yeah.
Leah on it. And I'm like, honestly, they need to do something because Leah needs to stay on TV.
No, she's amazing.
But I don't want to
Also,
see these
side
people on the challenge. Like, I
oh,
almost don't want to see any of them in that capacity. Not because but I'm like, don't lower yourselves. Like, y'all need just like your own shows.
not the girls. Maybe
Yeah.
Miguel.
Yeah. Oh, Miguel would.
Miguel
I
would be
could
great on the challenge.
I could see Aaron somehow finagling his way into the challenge.
Ew, no, I never want to see Aaron on TV again.
People
Miguel
love
can go on the
him.
challenge. And then, yeah, the other girls need to be doing something. Like, I need to see Serena on my screen again. I need to see Janae. I need to see Liv. And I need to see Leah. Kaylor, too, baby.
Taylor, here's the thing though. I could see because sometimes the challenge does Battle of the Exes.
Oh,
Kaylor and
yeah.
Aaron, they'll if they do that, they'll be on.
Well, I won't be surprised if some of these folks go on Love Island Games too the next
Yeah.
season. That would be
That
interesting.
would
Oh
be
no,
good.
it's
I'd be okay
interesting.
with that. The challenge
Yeah.
is just like, and I feel like shows, it's always like the random white blonde that's like so annoying that they're like, we're gonna cast them.
And
Like
then they're like a
Alyssa
beast.
from Big Brother Taylor season, they randomly cast her. She hooks up with Tyler from Big Brother. I'm like, why is she here? And then
I
it's her
was
just being like, I don't know what's happening. And it's like,
like,
we know.
yeah. And the challenge is like really intense. Like, I don't know why these people go.
I
Like when
don't either.
what's her name? The girl who started the cookout.
Tiffany.
Tiffany was on the challenge and I was like, Tiffany, what are you doing here?
She's
Like,
like, this is
this is
difficult.
yeah, I was like, yeah, girl, you need to basically be like a beast mode, like athlete, like not even like, oh, I run a 5K. No, you need to run like Ironmans and shit. You need to swim long distances and lift heavy stuff.
You need to run in
Like,
quicksand. Like you have to be like preparing.
I was like,
This
Tiffany,
isn't
you
gonna
do not
work.
belong here. I mean, I love to see you on my screen anytime, of course, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're not making the final. Like, why are you trying? You're
You
not
know,
gonna win.
yeah, right. I did see on Twitter a lot of people want Liv on the challenge, and I could see Liv. Of the girls, I wouldn't be mad.
I wonder how physically fit she is. I mean, look, the challenge is just so niche. It's hard. Like, you really need to be fit. I mean, it's cool to be on TV again. That
That's
all
the thing.
aside, it's like, yes, I'd love to see you on another show, but going on the challenge specifically, we're just gonna see you not win, which is cool if you just want to be on another show, that's fine. But
I want them all to join Summer House or like somehow
that would be
pop up on
cool.
Vanderpump Rules.
What if they made a show just for them? Remember how
They
like the Jersey
should.
Shore broke the internet and they like created all these spin-offs for them? They should do this for the Love Island. This Love Island cast was like A1,
It
namely the
was.
girls.
The girls, they need a, we need a, someone's gonna do a podcast for sure.
Oh yeah, I'll
Or if
listen.
not, all of them.
You're right.
But back to the episode. We watch what we will learn or soon learn is the final clip, even though they try
Mm-hmm.
to act like it's not going to be the final clip, which was
Mm-hmm.
annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys win. They pick challengers, and it's basically just more of Aaron making out with Daniela in the shower, which he
Yep.
did tell Kaylor because it was for a challenge. But then after that, he's like, "Let's do it again," and then they make out
Mm-hmm.
more. They talk
Mm-hmm.
after the challenge, and he's like, "This has been my favorite part in here." And then it's just them in the bed cuddling and kissing. And in the whole time, Kaylor's annoying ass, Aaron, oh, fuck, Aaron. It's like, shut up. Like, I get it, but just, practice silence. And then at the end, don't yell. Just be calm and tell him off. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I
Um,
can't.
it's too much for her, man. She's like emotionally, she's exhausted at this point. Like, I get it. Imagine having the same fight with somebody like five different times. Like, fuck, like I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. That's what she should do. But I understand why she's acting like this because she's just exhausted. And he's literally a piece of shit who's not owning any of it. But I agree. I feel like in this moment, her reacting that way gives him an out almost. Like, oh, she's being so annoying. If she was quiet and if she was just like not saying anything, shut down, I actually think he would like reflect for a second. But the constant like production putting it in his face, her putting it in his face is just making him want to run away, which is a cop out. I'm not saying Aaron's right, but
It is.
if Kaylor was quiet in this moment, I do think it would help her because she's just like, I don't have any tears left.
And then cries.
This she
Well,
cries so
and
much.
it's like, it's not to say she shouldn't have her emotions, but it's just like, it's the same thing, and she's not standing in it. Like you saw with
Yeah,
Serena, she
yeah,
stood in what she was saying. She had
yeah.
her emotions, she owned her emotions, and she was for real about it. And Kordell, on the flip side too, she was doing it with someone, Kordell, who actually cares and felt actually bad, whereas
Mm-hmm.
Aaron doesn't. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like they're just both like playing this ping pong match of
Yeah.
like who can be the most like annoyed and annoying. And honestly, they're both winning.
Yeah, they are. And it doesn't help because the things he says in this video is kind of crazy because he's like, this is my favorite moment. And then he says he likes her and it's more than a test and all this stuff. And it's like
Yes. I'm
very
like,
intimate thoughts. And it's like, oh damn, you know.
mm-hmm.
Um, and
Live
then
on
he
the
just
side, just like you just keep digging yourself a bigger and bigger hole. I'm
and
like,
his
yes.
defense is crazy. First, he's like, the context is wrong. The context is wrong. It was a game. I meant that this was my favorite game when he said the favorite part.
It's like,
And then she's crying. And then they keep
okay.
showing more. And then he's like, this is, I was just saying how I felt in the moment. I'm human. It was wrong, but I wasn't thinking of you, Kaylor.
And that's your
And she's like, yeah.
answer.
What'd you say?
And there's your answer. Uh,
And then Kaylor's like, obviously you weren't thinking of me. And he's like, it's not tit for tat. And she's like, how can you say you love someone when that's what you did 3 days prior? And
which was a good
and
point. I'm like, Kaylor, you have the answers. Use them. You're not.
mm-hmm.
I can't.
And he was like, it was my experience. I hope you. And then she's like, I hope you had a great experience. And then he yells at Liv for getting involved. He's
Yeah,
like,
but why are you getting
pause.
involved? You just stay in the pot. That's all you do. Ever.
And it's like, bro, you just stood 10 toes down for Rob. Excuse me?
I
Liv
know,
is not
right?
allowed to say anything when you were just yelling at Leah for Rob. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, that's how he wanted to test things. He understands his mistakes. He asks about Connor.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't say anything when you were talking with Connor and exploring that. Because remember when Connor first came, he was kind of interested in Kaylor. I think they just talked a couple times.
Bro, that was so long ago. I didn't even know what he was talking
That
about.
was literally like episode like 2 or 3. Like that was, we forget Connor and Hakeem came at the end of episode 1.
That's true. You're right.
That
You're
was
right.
so long
Long
ago.
ago. Yeah.
Like it's irrelevant, but he's
Mhm.
projecting. And she's
Yeah,
like,
he's.
wait, what?
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, I
You
think
go.
she was just like, that's different. It's not the same. It's just different. And then she's like, stop yelling at me.
Yeah.
And then he just gets up and leaves.
Stop yelling at me. I'm the one hurt and you're yelling at me. Fuck. Stop. That's when he just storms and he rips his mic off.
He rips his mic off. Rob puts his hand on Aaron's shoulder. Aaron pushes Rob's hand off. And then they just like kind of do like there's a fork in the road, and Rob just turns left, like, oh no, he pushed my hand away. Rob is Rob goes one way,
Rob's
Aaron
like,
goes
how
to the
can I
dog.
be the victim in every situation? That has nothing to do with me.
Rob instantly was like, bet, and goes a different direction. And I was like, Aaron, not you pushing your boyfriend's hand away. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Mm.
excuse me, best mate's hand away.
Best mate. He's my best mate. Oh, he goes to
um,
this part of the villa that's like not pretty. It's like
yeah, he like
it
leaves
looks
the
like
villa and
Gilligan's
goes like,
Island.
yeah, I was like, you guys kind of built this villa on some trash because what is that?
I know.
It was like some dusty sand looking part.
Yes. And
Um,
eventually Rob meets with him and like he had said you were handling this perfectly, but now you just need to own it and like buck up because Kaylor's completely valid in feeling how she feels. So
mhm,
like you just gotta like apologize. And I'm like, okay,
mhm.
Rob, that was like solid advice, I
It's like
guess.
when you're supposed to give feedback to somebody in class and they're like, say something positive first.
Yeah.
He's
It's
like,
like up until now, you were
you're doing
great.
great.
But right now, mm, you're
Which
not.
is also a complete lie. He's not doing great at
He's been
all.
doing awful this entire time. Like, but I guess to Rob, anything Aaron does is perfect.
hmm
And
But
then
it is
Aaron's
solid
just like
advice
looking out in the distance, just like,
with his teeth. He's just pissed. And it's like, I get it. I get it. You feel like everybody's ganging up on you, but you also did something wrong. Like, I don't think it's registering to him that like there's a reason why people are. It's like he's just like shutting down because he's being attacked. It's giving Tom Sandoval. That's all I can say. Like, yo, you are
It
Tom
is.
Sandoval. Like,
And
you're
it's
acting
like,
just like Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules. If y'all don't know, this is
dude, I
textbook
can't.
Tom.
No, she didn't buy batteries. Uh, but it's true because also the thing is, he wasn't honest. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why. Because it'd be, I'm sure Kaylor watching this would have still been hurt, but it wouldn't have been as explosive had he actually been honest.
Honest, exactly. It's like she's finding after the fact, so she's still upset. He's acting as if he was completely honest and she just keeps dredging it up. If that was the case, that would make sense, but it doesn't.
Because
You
you
didn't tell her
weren't.
the truth. She keeps learning new information. You're embarrassing the fuck out of her because you told her you loved her. She believed it. Y'all probably fucked yesterday.
She
And
believed it
now,
for
like,
some reason.
right, like I'm sure they've been intimate. I mean, she's been in his bed every night, right? Like, Aaron, you're embarrassing the heck out of Kaylor. Like, maybe they didn't have sex, but I know they've been intimate since she's returned, right? Like, you're just making her feel stupid and look stupid.
He is, but he doesn't get it. And then
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, because even Kaylor says, I think shortly after this, she's like, it's not like they weren't honest because they told me things, but they didn't say this. So it's just like they didn't mention it. And I'm like, that means they weren't honest.
Honest, yeah. It's like she's not even
Let's
putting the
put
pieces
together
together.
what you just said. They weren't honest, or they were honest, but they didn't tell me.
Yes. That means they weren't honest, baby girl.
That means they lied. Um,
Is there a producer for Kaylor? Somebody needs to have a conversation with her. They're like, oh my gosh, she's spiraling. This is gold. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
get her quick. She's crying again. She's saying her 18th fuck.
Yeah. It's
Um,
bad too because when Aaron walks away, Daniela goes, this is embarrassing. And Kaylor's like, it's embarrassing for me too. Get her, Kaylor. Get her.
and she's like, I'm sorry.
And I don't even think Kaylor said anything back to her after that. She was just like, yeah, it's embarrassing for me too. It's like Kaylor has great defenses, but like Aaron doubling down doesn't help her.
No.
I thought that maybe this would be her final straw. Like, okay, maybe Kaylor after this will come to her senses and realize this man is a piece of shit who doesn't give a fuck about her and doesn't love her, and that this is not what love is. But we'll see if she does.
Well, maybe, and then something happens, but we'll also get into that more. Aaron returns, but then they're like, movie night's over, and it's like, okay, why
Why'd
did
you
he
make him
return?
return?
It was so stupid. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the girls get together, Leah and Liv apologize and make up, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, sisters. And they even say that they're like, we fight like sisters, but we have love for each other and it's okay. And I'm like, yes, you
Mm-hmm.
know, we love to see it. Serena says she still feels dumb and is embarrassed, but it is what it is. And Kordell just feels really bad about hurt Serena was
Mm-hmm.
and isn't yelling at her about being mad still or upset. So
Mm-hmm.
already doing better than Aaron.
Much better.
Mm. Rob, Rob's corner is questioning Daniela because
Mm-hmm.
apparently she said the same things to him and Aaron. And I'm like, what are we doing? I feel like this whole episode they try to push. Rob is like, I feel so bad for Rob that he had to
Yeah.
see his best friend with the girl he's with now. He did see it
He was
in Casa
there.
Amor. He saw
Right.
most of that. He
Right.
knew. They had
Yeah.
to talk before, like on the last night, saying that, oh, you should really see about Daniela. Like, I don't know, like I can't do this. And so he randomly switched to Daniela. And then Daniela was like, oh yeah, I've always kind of liked you, I guess after Aaron ended it.
No, I've always kind of liked you, I guess.
Yeah, it is just like, and now they're like, I can't believe like him, Aaron and Daniela were that close. And it's like, are we like, what are we do? Like, I'm like, I feel like we're in an experiment And they're
Right.
trying to like rewrite history, like especially with
Yeah.
Rob. It's like, I can't believe Leah said that about Rob. I can't believe Daniela switched from his best friend to Rob. And it's like, but even if we want to say that, Aaron left Daniela.
Right.
It's just this doesn't make sense. They're like trying to like, I don't know. It's
I
weird.
don't know. I agree with you. I did think that was weird because I was like, didn't Rob see? And then I was like, okay, well, maybe he didn't see the more intimate moments. But then again, it's like, what did she say? Because I just heard Aaron saying a lot of things.
He was
So
saying
you're
most of
saying,
it.
right. So what did she say? Like, I really like you. I mean, I guess that's something that's common to say to two people you like. Like, what did she
Yeah.
really and he didn't say specifically like it be I don't know, they're really making it seem like she had a speech that she gave to both of them. That doesn't sound. I really didn't hear Daniela say a whole lot in those clips.
All I remember is she had said, and this was, I don't even think in the clips, she was just like, yeah, I'd always liked you from the beginning, but then I like hit it off with Aaron. And then like, but I guess you were kind of in the back of my mind a little. And I'm like, okay, like that seems none of this is normal is the thing. They're trying to
Yeah.
normalize something that's not normal. Like Love Island in general is not normal. Casa Amore's
Yeah.
not normal. None of
Right.
it's normal. So it's just kind of like y'all were the ones just like Aaron was like, you should get with her because she deserves to make it to the villa. And Rob was like, yes, because I remember what it was like last season when I didn't make it to the villa. And I think she
you
should be in the villa.
you heard them say that, or you're just saying that this is probably
He
what they
said
said?
something to that effect to Aaron about like, I
um
remember him mentioning because he always brings it back to, I remember my experience last season when I didn't get a lot of camera time.
yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think it's all weird. But yeah,
Like,
I agree. Production is really trying to make people feel sympathy for Rob for some reason, and I don't understand it.
it's just too little too late, a little too wrong. But here's the thing, the social media still loves him. He has like the most Insta followers and like
Who?
engagement.
Who?
Rob,
No way. He beat Leah?
they're both in the 200,000s, but I think he has a little
No,
more.
Leah just hit 400. Hold
Did
on, let
she
me look. Let me
really?
look.
Damn, Leah.
Leah's account is on and popping. I can't believe. Okay, hold on. Let me look. If what? Why are people following Rob on Instagram?
They
Leah
think he's
Kateb is
attractive.
410K.
Oh, that's good. Good for her. That's
What is Rob?
quick.
I don't
She's
even want
like
to give Rob. I don't even want to search him, but just for the sake of journalism.
Rob Roush. Oh,
Robert.
he's only at 289. Okay. I
Wonderful.
think as of late, they're more Leah. But that's still a lot though for him. And like I think there's people that hate him, but there's people that find him very attractive. Not to put Gia on the spot. Because she hates him, but she says she likes his face. I'm like,
I mean,
okay.
he does have a nice face. I get it.
Aaron returns to the guys and he's just like, I did it because I wanted to, and like I felt it in the moment, and like I feel differently now. And then Kayla's just like, again, like, how could you do all that 3 days before saying you love me?
Mm-hmm.
Rob tells Aaron he wants to take a step back from Daniela.
This was them at the fire pit, right?
Yeah. And I'm like,
Okay.
Nicole tells Kendall that the girls have a right to be upset and he needs to make it up to them. And I'm like, she low-key wants to win. I respect it. Because we forget. I was listening to Bitches Better again, and they were even saying they forget that there's a winner at the end of this that wins money.
They don't really like, on traders they're constantly talking about the prize at the end.
Yeah,
This show does not give us context for much of anything.
it
They're
doesn't.
like, Casa more. They're going to it. And it's like, what is it? How long is it? What is it? What are the
Yeah.
details? None of it is provided. Um,
Mm,
so I think it's funny that
right.
even they're like movie night. Don't give context. How many clips are there? How does it work? Like they don't really explain a whole lot. So yeah, I forget that there's money at the end of this too.
Yes. And yeah, because Nicole's basically just like, you need to make it up to them because you looked crazy in those videos. And he's like, okay, you're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally will. Like, yes, I will. Okay.
like that was something she genuinely would say, but maybe it is just for the
I
sake of
think it was
competition.
both. Because Nicole's
Yeah.
like a girl's girl, and I think she meant it, but she's also like, you better make it up to them. She's like,
And I think Kendall will legitimately feel bad. Um, Brandon, though, going back to the fire pit with Rob and
oh,
Aaron.
yes.
So Aaron is like, they're both like, we feel bad for Kaylor for a second. Then Aaron is like, Rob, I feel bad for you and Daniela. Um, and he says it didn't look like Daniela like wanted to be with him. That's what Rob says. And then like Aaron kind of just like, yeah, but like Kaylor's really upset with me. And I just felt like in this moment, Aaron is not being a good friend to Rob, even though Rob has always really been a good friend to Aaron. Like Aaron's kind of caught up on his own stuff and he's not
Yeah.
really like, it's that friend that's like, yeah, I had a really bad day. Yeah, man, me too. Let me tell you all about it instead of like asking your friend, like, why was your day bad? Are you okay? Like Aaron's kind of being selfish here, which is understandable because he's going through a lot too. But it's like, I think Rob is asking you for support, dude. That's why he brought you to the fire pit to chat.
That's how him and Kaylor are. They just talk about themselves the whole time. But I also,
Yeah.
maybe it's kind of funny. Maybe if Aaron knows Rob and Danielle is like bullshit, he's like, yeah, anyways, me and Kayla were really going through it. All right, Rob.
Yeah. That's
uh,
kind of how it seemed.
but Rob and Daniela do talk. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, I didn't like seeing the video and it didn't feel good. I struggle with trust. And it was a quick flip. But it is what it is. It sucks, but you're gonna be okay. And I'm like, what can this guy go straight to hell? Like, what is he talking about? Shut up.
You struggle with trust? Since when?
What trust? You had just met her. You saw her making out with your friend and spending the night together. You saw it. It wasn't like they snuck around.
Hmm.
This doesn't make sense. And then
He's
she's
eating
like
it up.
crying and she's like, I just feel bad about everything. And da 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 da
Hmm.
da. And she cries. And he's like, that's when he's like, you'll be all right. Here's my jacket. And then lays it on her to
Yeah.
sleep. And I'm like, I hate this man.
Yeah,
He's
it was.
so manipulative.
I agree. I agree. And I don't even think she's realizing, like, huh? Wait, but you knew. It wasn't like they went to somewhere else and they were in a separate villa and then she came and was all over Rob. Like, you were
Yeah.
there
You were watching it.
the
I
whole
hate
time and
him.
commentating on it with Kendall. You saw them
Yes.
making out by the pool. You saw them during the game and after the game. Like, don't act stupid.
Mm.
Yeah, and he's like he doesn't believe she wanted to be with him and he's questioning how genuine it was. And I'm just like, this is stupid. And then Danielle is just like, I regret it. I think we did move really fast. I'm just like, but that's kind of how the show works. Everything is fast. I don't know.
It is. And like, I don't know. This just
I
feels fake. So I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I didn't see it that way while I was watching it, but you're right, Brandon. Like, I do think that it's kind of stupid the way he's acting. Um,
They're just
wow,
trying to
Rob
have like a
gaslit me
moment.
too.
He
Yeah.
gaslit you.
He
People are
did. I
saying he's like
believed
a
it.
production plant. And I'm like, low key. They're like, create drama. You're sad about the Daniela video, right? And he's like, I can be. And he's like,
I will be tonight.
I will be tonight, actually. Let me do this.
Yeah, it is a little weird. And poor girl, she's just like eating it up. Not as defending Daniela. I didn't think that would happen.
I know. And like, look, I'm not saying she has her flaws, but I'm
Yeah,
like, they're trying to gaslight her a
they
little
are.
bit. But they're all going to bed, and Serena gives Kordell a hug in bed, and he's like, I was trying to give you space, but we can talk
Yeah.
tomorrow. And I'm like, I love this.
I hate that he's not quick to just like go talk to her, but I feel like she notices it, so she went to him, and it was like cute. Like
Yeah.
they're understanding each other and how they vibe. Aaron sleeps outside alone this time.
Yeah.
Caine sleeps outside.
Yes.
I was like, this is different. Daniela's crying more.
She is. And Daya's like, it's okay. And
Basically.
and I'm like, okay, Daya. That's all we hear her say this episode, basically.
Yeah, she doesn't talk much.
But then it's like the next day, and Kendall makes Nicole, Serena, and Kayla breakfast, and he
Mm-hmm.
apologizes for not standing up for them in Casa Amor. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Thanks, Kendall.
I
Great."
thought they thought it was sweet. It
They
was kind of
did.
sweet. He's like, I'm sorry. He said it individually. It wasn't like, sorry for not having your backs in
Yeah,
casa, girls.
it
Like he
was
was actually
sweet
serious for a change. He was
and
like, I'm sorry.
intentional. I was like, "All right,
Yes.
let's see how long this lasts."
Right.
But it's a
Because
nice
Kendall,
gesture.
right. Because I feel like we usually see Kendall being goofy. Like he would have made a song. I'm so sorry for not
And
having
I'm
your
sorry.
back
I'm
in
sorry in
casa.
the villa. I'm sorry in the villa. I'm sorry. It's like, okay, Kendall, damn.
But he was actually serious, which was sweet.
He was. Leah cries to Janae about the Rob situation because she still
Yeah.
feels bad. And Janae thinks she handled herself very well, though, and owned it, and thinks
Yeah.
that he may be interested in her. And Leah's like, why would he be interested in me after the video? And she's like, well, why
Mhm.
would he be interested in Daniela? And I'm like, okay. I
That's
mean,
kind of a good point.
not no, but I'm like, Rob
Mm.
also is just hard to read, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't want her to put it in Leah's head and then Leah gets her hopes up because I'm sure she still has feelings for
If
Rob.
Rob said, let's get back together, she would,
Yeah,
like in a
I
heartbeat,
think so.
because
I
she
think so.
really liked, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Um, Miguel, though, is talking to some of the guys and he's questioning Leah just because it reminds him of growing up in like a hostile environment. And he usually tries to stay away from that. And it's like, okay, there's some context. Like, I get it.
Yeah. I do too. I actually really appreciated Miguel being vulnerable for a change. Like we kind of see more sides of him. I really thought that he was just like this shallow dummy, but he's actually like he's pretty smart.
He's the
He's
true onion.
he
He's
is
the
the truth.
onion.
He's the onion for sure. Yeah,
They
you're
act like
right.
Rob is, and it's like, no, Rob's not the onion. Miguel is the onion.
Miguel is the onion. And he's a lot more mature than these guys in a lot of ways. Like, he's the only guy who kept it a buck with Casa. Like,
He
Leah already
did.
knows that I'm out here exploring people. I don't have to apologize, like, to her, really. Even the
Mhm.
clip, like, he didn't need to apologize for the clip at movie night. Like, she already knew what it was. You know, he
Yeah.
was the most upfront with her. And then here we're kind of like seeing him, like, what he actually wants in a girl is somebody who's like, calm and not so argumentative, not so quick to yell and scream and stuff, which is valid.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want someone calm, but I don't know if I can like accept that part about her, which is valid. Like he's actually making some conscious choices and his reasoning makes sense to me.
He is. I agree.
Yeah.
Rob still pretends to feel weird about the Daniela situation. She's like, I just don't know. It just feels bad. Just I don't
And
know.
then Aaron's immediately like, so what do you think I should do? How's Kaylor doing? How was Kaylor last night?
She seemed fine. Maybe it's in
Yeah.
space. But
Yeah.
Daniela, I don't know. It's like, okay. And then even Janae and Kenny talk, and she's like, I just don't understand. Like everyone's comforting Kaylor, but what about Rob? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What is happening? Side note, love Janae and Kenny.
Yeah.
Um, Caine and Sierra do yoga together. Whoopee. Uh,
Everyone's like laughing and giggling. I'm like,
they
it
are.
was kind of cute to me.
It wasn't not, but I was like, I didn't see a connection between them.
No. I mean, I saw they were vibing, but I didn't see a whole lot
Yeah.
of depth.
Yeah, it was just like surface level, like, kind of cute. They're getting along.
Mm-hmm.
But Rob and Leah have a heart to heart.
Mm-hmm.
She apologizes again for the clip. And he's like, I understand why you were upset in the video, and I really did do my best with the Andrea situation. And I'm like,
No, you
did
didn't.
like what are you talking
It was
about?
terrible because of you, my guy. You
You
made
did
it
everything
everything wrong.
awful. Everything was terrible. Because Leah just was, because you were being shady to Leah. So she pulled you over
Mm-hmm.
to be like, what's going on? You cry, snap at her, flip it that she's not asking you how you're feeling now that you have to pick between two girls. You
Mm-hmm.
do a swan dive into the pool, do an aerobics exercise, do a performance, you're killing it. You hide under the bridge, you have a tree moment. And then the next day, you talk it out with Leah. And then at night, when you can pick Andrea, instead of letting her know, despite telling Leah you would always let her know first, you go, I'm sorry, and then walk over and have like your big one in your moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing happened. So shut
Mm-hmm.
up. I can't with
Yeah.
him. With that being said, I totally want them back together.
I don't. I don't because Leah initially clocked it. She was like, he's kind of being weird. Like, why is he crying? Like,
She
and
did.
all of her nagging and like calling him a bitch and stuff was 100% valid, I feel. Okay, maybe it was a little mean, but it was honest. Like,
She
why
was
is
more
he
noting
crying?
he's like being a drama queen and trying to get attention, and
Exactly.
less about like how could you be sad.
Right. And now production is like emphasizing it. Like his feelings were hurt, blah blah blah. So now I feel like she's getting manipulated by the situation where she clocked it right
Yeah.
initially. Like, no, I don't want them to be together if this man is just gonna manipulate her. And then
No,
everybody
I
else is gonna
know.
manipulate her too. But I get it, I get it. It's weird because his sister is on TikTok and she even said she would like to see them together. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I guess his family is really close. They make like music videos and stuff together.
Yeah, they do like photo shoots. If you like, you sent me a TikTok explaining it, but if you look at like Rob's Instagram, they like do
Yeah.
like these themed shoots.
Yeah, like he has a brother and a sister, and they're like a family
Yeah. It's,
band or group or
I don't
something
know.
that
It's
does
kind of
these
funny,
artistic
but I'm
things.
like, this is who is Rob? That's
I
the
don't think he's
thing.
I don't think he's a snake wrangler because what?
That does feel fake.
It
And that
feels super
tattoo looks
fake.
fake. Me and Gia were saying, what if the tattoo's fake?
That'd be wild. Have
Because
you seen it on his? I don't even want to go on his Instagram and give his account a boost, but
I
it's
don't
weird
know.
to me. Maybe he's a snake wrangler and he like just does it on the weekends.
Maybe
But
every
like,
now and then, you
yeah.
know? But it's kind of
Going
like a
back to
country
them.
music video though with Leah and Rob because he's just like in the distance. He's like, it's okay, it is what it is. And
Yeah.
she's like, just so sorry. And then he's like, sorry for onioning you. And she goes, it never worked on me. You were always peeled. He's like, he did peel me pretty quick.
Oh my gosh, that's so cringy even listening to you say it.
And I'm like,
Um
get back together. Um, and then they
uh
hug and it's like emotional. She's crying because she even
she's
tells him, like, I liked you so much, like an embarrassing amount. And
yeah.
so,
Yeah. She was very honest with him. She was very vulnerable. I'm so proud of Leah for this moment. She owned her shit. She apologized for a lot of things. She named things specifically, like she apologized for her comments, for the Andrea stuff, for everything. And he's like, don't beat yourself up, basically, because he could tell that's what she was doing. I don't even think her tears were like manipulated in any way. I think they were 100% genuine. I'm really proud of Leah. And I'm glad they
mhm,
had a talk to just clear things up so that when they
same.
leave, she could be like, I did clock it right,
Right.
huh?
She's gonna have so much support and love when she gets out.
Oh
It's
my
gonna be
gosh, yes.
overwhelming, I think.
Yeah, it
But
is.
after that, Kaylor and Aaron talk, and all I wrote was she pretends she won't forgive him. It's just like they go on the dock. She's like looking down. She's like, no, we can't hug. He's like, can we hug before anything? She's like, no. And then it's just like,
I
oh,
thought I thought she
I'm like, I can't do
I thought
this.
she was gonna stand up for herself. I broke it down a little bit. Yes, he asked to speak to her. She says no to a hug. Um, she's like, let's just talk. He's like, I apologize for everything that you saw. And he's like, he says that, and she says, like, he left a lot of stuff out. How can he love her after doing all of that? And he says it's true. Even though he did it, he still has love for her. So he's like, yeah, I know I fucked up, but like I still love you. Even though I played in your face, I do love you. And
Right.
she's just really sad and frustrated, and he promises not to repeat it. And then like I guess she feels a little bit better after this, but I feel like, yeah, she kind of made it seem like, okay, while I was watching it, I was like, okay, maybe Kaylor's not gonna go back on her word. Maybe, this time around she is done with him because they don't like kiss or hug or like giggle and all that shit that they usually do.
That's true. She gaslit us. Um,
Yeah.
she tricked us. Then Rob and Daniela talk. Wants to take it slow. She gets it. Womp womp womp. Fake storyline, fake storyline, fake storyline. The real shit is Kordell and Serena. Because they
Yes.
talk and it's the sweetest conversation. He owns everything and says the video
Mm-hmm.
hurt him. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, he does what Aaron refuses to do. And he keeps apologizing and he acknowledges Serena's feelings. And
Mm-hmm.
even Serena's at a point where, before Casa, I could have reassured you more in
I
certain ways.
disagree, but I love the introspection. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
if that's how you feel after seeing all of it and like considering everything, I love that she's taking responsibility. I don't think she has to, but if that's how she genuinely feels, it's cool.
I get it because maybe like with the dance game and like certain things, because there was a friend zoning, although it wasn't wrong, maybe just acknowledging like I could see how maybe you felt like it
Yeah.
wasn't certain,
Yeah.
or maybe past things made you feel that. So it was just nice. I was dying at Janae eavesdropping, just standing up so tall on the couch, just watching like, oh, are they laughing? That's so good.
Yeah.
And then
And then
Serena looks and she's just like turns
she's
around.
like she's like Andy's watching and then
Yeah.
Janae like falls out. I think it
Yes,
was a reference to Toy Story.
it was. Andy's coming because the toys
Andy's
just
coming.
fall. That was funny. That was such a good moment. I love these people.
Me too. Online, some people slowed it down, and when Janae stood up, Kenny was like over off to the side, like looking at her and like checking her out, which I
Oh,
thought was
was
so
he?
cute. He
That's
was, yeah.
funny. Uh,
And then
but oh
they
no,
say
yeah.
they might close things off, which is interesting.
They did, which I didn't expect the
Uh-huh.
conversation to go there.
I didn't think so either. So she hugs him, and they say they missed each other and stuff. It's super cute.
Hmm.
I part of me wanted them to like I wanted kind of Serena to like stand up for herself, but I actually feel like she did. The way
She
Kordell is
did.
behaving is a guy who you should take back. Like
He's apologetic and he's owning it. So it's
he's
like,
owning it.
and
He
it's
didn't go
weird
back
because
on
they
his
weren't
word.
like officially. This Love Island is weird because it's like they're together, but they're not together.
Yep.
So it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's very remorseful and isn't putting blame on her.
On her at
So it's
all.
giving her the
No.
space to actually forgive him.
Yeah. So I think this is good. I'm happy for them.
I know they go off. He tells the guys, she tells the girls. Everyone's so happy. Um, Kaylor's like, oh my gosh, you're closed off. And then right after is when her and Aaron talk again.
Yeah, I was about to say Kaylor looked half happy for
She's
them.
like,
Wow, this is great news.
great. And then that's when her and Aaron talk. And he's like,
Hmm.
oh, we should get back together. And, I'll have this necklace, but you can't look. I'm going to go get it. And then he gets it. And it's that stupid fucking seashell necklace. And she's like, I just
Hmm.
can't stay mad at you. And he's like,
Hmm.
she knows I'm an idiot, but I'm her idiot. And I'm like, I hate both of you. Can
Y'all
you
are
both
so
leave?
toxic.
This is the
It's
most.
terrible. It's really bad.
Um, and I think they were like,
Yeah.
oh, they're closing things off. We need to close things off. So we're like on their level. And maybe
I
we
yeah,
can win this.
I'm sure the pressure of the show does it a little bit for them too. But yeah, I was like, Kaylor, a seashell, a dusty. It wasn't even a nice seashell. If he found her
No.
like a conch or something beautiful, it'd be one thing. It was like a dusty, small ass seashell that he put on his necklace and like gave to her. I mean, it's rough. You can't really give people gifts. You're stuck on an island. I get it. He's like, he's scrambling at this point, trying to find something, some kind of gesture, but it's just stupid. I was like, Kaylor,
Do
this is
better.
dumb. Yeah,
He
I'm
could have given
really
her something of his or something. I don't know.
something nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
like something she could wear. I don't know. I mean, he only brought polos and golf attire, so I get it.
That is so true. Miguel and Leah chatted out, and it's like a very mature. like conversation. He's like, he usually tries to stay away from that. And she's like, I do too. Like that was
Yeah.
bad. And I like get it. And he opens
Yeah.
up about growing up in that environment. And she says she
Mm-hmm.
hated how she looked in the video, but he loves that she's willing to grow and like,
Yeah.
own it. So they stay together and it's sweet.
Yeah, she said they both said they missed each other. He didn't want to judge her just off of that, which I also feel is very mature. There's a lot of like accountability and self-reflection going on with like a good portion of the cast, and the Aaron and Kayla are just being stupid.
I know,
Everybody else is
right?
like kind of being mature about things.
At least
Maybe
like
not
talking
Rob.
it out, like
Yeah, doing
owning
some
it.
self-reflection. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, then the
It's the
evening comes.
Yes, and this was a cute moment because the guys were in the room, they were talking, and Kenny's just on the bed. They're like, Kenny, you got anything to say to anyone? He's like, Janae, I just want to be with her. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's
Kenny's
sweet.
so cute.
Uh, and they're having their moment.
Um,
They're like, oh, we're cheersing, we're drinking, and then Ariana pops up. They're like, oh fuck,
mm,
Ariana's here.
yeah.
In her gold flowery dress. She's like, hey everyone, I have my
Meet me
big
by the
Texas
fire pit.
hair. Meet me by the fire pit.
Cause Brandon, did you peep? Before this, all of the couples are kind of cuddled up. Like Aaron and Kayla are somewhere. Everybody is like kind of off, like having a moment with their boo, right? Aaron like straddled or Kaylor, and like she's got this super short dress on, and he like opens her legs and she's like, Aaron, not in this dress. And I was like,
Oh God.
what are you guys doing?
I must have blocked that out.
I hate both. I was just like, Aaron, gosh, what are you doing?
Get
And
it
like
together, Aaron.
I think she was like laughing and stuff, but like I just didn't like how it looked. And I'm like really glad Ariana interrupted, because like
I
what the
know, right?
heck?
She's like, okay, y'all, I'm here.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah.
But she basically says there's a recoupling and three girls will be going home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, First up, Kendall. He chooses Nicole. We knew
Mm-hmm.
it was sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Second up, though, is Kenny. And he gives this
Kenny.
great speech about wanting a
Mm-hmm.
mature woman who would stand up for her emotions and that
Mm-hmm.
she's beautiful and that they complement each other. And he just gets
Mm-hmm.
all giggly and like they're touching. He just wants to be around her all the time. And everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, Kenny.
Yeah, Catherine looks sad, but everybody else is like really hyping it up. And Janae is so hyped. She's
She is,
like
she's like,
giggling, smiling in for Brandon. If you think about it, this is the first time somebody gave a recoupling speech, like a real good recoupling
yeah.
speech to Janae, and an honest, like genuine one where she has like a good connection with them.
It was. I was happy for her. And it's like the best of all the like people she's been with. And I'm like,
Yeah,
this just feels real. And I really hope
it
they last
does.
outside of the
Me
show. So
too.
I
The
like them
speech was
together.
everything. He ate.
It was. Kordell
Mm.
has to follow. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
after that. But he does give a sweet one that
It
I
was
was like, this
nice.
is cute. He says,
Yeah.
she got me in a chokehold and it can't be broke. I'll fuck around and pass
Mm-hmm.
out. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And they just like start laughing. I'm like, I love
He
this.
says slow and steady wins the race, which I really appreciate. Like he's honoring their experience. Everybody's been like shitting on them for being on her for being slow, and he like acknowledged it publicly,
He's
which I
always
appreciated.
done that though. Like even from the beginning when they were like, she's going so slow, she did you dirty. He's like, she didn't do me dirty. And like, that's fine if she's
Yeah,
slow. And I'm
yeah.
like, oh. And he says he's falling for her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cute because when she goes to him, she's like, you said you're falling for me. And he's like, get off me. And then he pulls
They're
her
so
close.
cute.
They are. I love them together. I just want to watch them all the
Me
time.
too.
Oh, Caine picks Sierra. Great. Which
Yeah.
apparently you'll get into it when you talk about Caine, I
Yeah.
think, later. But
Yeah.
um Aaron picks Kaylor. I didn't write the speech. I didn't care about the speech. It's all the same shit. They're dumb.
Yeah, it's really fake. He's like, I knew she was the one from the moment I saw her in the villa. Did you?
Did
He's
you?
like, he's a best friend to, he's always wanted a best friend to love. He will spend the rest of his time making it up to Kaylor.
Will
We will
you?
see, man. It's just empty words to me.
It is. Miguel is up and he chooses Leah. Honestly, I found his speech underwhelming
Yeah.
because he was just like, for someone who's usually a smooth talker, I don't have the words right now. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I think you just don't have any words to say.
I think just hearing all the speeches is just like, damn, what am I, what else can I say?
Right. Rob is last, and the girls left are Liv, Daniela, Dea, and Catherine.
Hmm.
Now, they were kind of hinting that he wouldn't pick Daniela and maybe he would save Liv. Because before Casa, him and Liv kind of had a little something brewing. But essentially he ends up picking Daniela. And
Hmm.
that was kind of like, okay, it was sad because all the girls are crying because they saw that coming.
Yeah.
And so Liv, Dea, and Catherine are eliminated. And it's just a
Hmm.
bunch of crying over Liv and they're hugging her
Yeah.
and it's sweet. And Ariana even says, she's like, one of the best moments of watching this season is the friendships that have been forming. And
Yeah.
you all will be missed. And I totally understand these emotions. And Liv is like, that was so nice.
And
And
she
I'm like,
tells the girls like, "Stop crying, it's okay." Like
yes,
Nicole, Serena and Kayla are crying like instantly.
yeah,
Daniela starts crying, and then they're all just crying.
they
Everybody is
are.
really upset.
And then when the girls are in the room, Liv is just like, I always wanted sisters, and now I can say that I have sisters for life. And then they cry more, and I'm like, uh.
I shed a tear. I was like, "Damn, this shit is sad. I'm your sister too, Liv. I
Liv, you're
don't
my
have sisters
sister.
either."
And Nicole even makes a good point in her like interview. She's like, we always would go to Liv, and Liv would always defend us if we were
Yeah,
scared to say something. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's true. Hopefully, y'all got a little Liv in you for when
yeah,
she's gone. And stand up for
yeah.
yourselves. And, not you though, Kaylor, because that's a lost cause. Um,
Yeah. And I guess Liv and Kaylor were the closest, which makes sense now because they
yeah,
were all, I didn't know that, but like it makes sense when they kind of said it.
yeah.
And she's like, I see it working out for you and Aaron. It was really sweet.
Fuck, my best friend.
He's like, Libby, I'm gonna miss you so much. I thought it was so cute when Cordell kind of like this is when they were still at the fire pit, like kind of like dried Serena's
Oh
tears for her.
yeah, that
And
was
he like
sweet.
did it like not in a rough way, like he was very gentle. He just used two fingers so he wouldn't mess with her makeup. And I was like,
Yes.
Cordell,
I'm like, I love
you're
you
so
both.
sweet.
He
um
is.
they gave they gave Liv like kind of like so in Aftersun, Liv goes to Aftersun and they gave her like
Mhm.
a little video montage of like her best moments.
They
And
do.
one of the things that she said, which I don't know, I even feel emotional right now. She's like, you always have to remember, like when you close the window, and tomorrow when you open it, there'll be sun. And I was like, are you both?
I know,
Like
right?
she's so stinking positive and like knows exactly what to say to like pick somebody up. Like Liv
She
is
does.
low-key the greatest.
She
She's so
is. She'll
sweet.
be missed. That's why, because she was
She
the only
will
one I
be.
clocked in Aftersun. She's the only one eliminated who ever got a montage. Because if we
Yeah.
think about it too, she's been there since episode one. She was the very first bombshell.
Yeah, she was. She was. It's so sad to see her leaving, but like I
It
love that
is.
they did that montage because it really showed just like how genuine and nice she is. Like After Sun really honored Liv, which I appreciate because she needed to see like just how amazing and great we all thought she was. And that whole mean girl stuff is bullshit.
Yeah. They gave her her flowers, which I appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But the ladies leave and the couples are kind of like together. And then Ariana sneaks back in and she's like, I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just smiling like, watch what Crappens described it as Ariana with like laser beam eyes, just being like, hey everyone.
I returned.
And then they're all like so scared of her smile. I think Kendall's like, she's smiling. And Nicole's like, she's always smiling.
It's true.
And I'm like, but basically, she just introduces Harrison. It's just like, we have
Yeah.
another bombshell. There's always a twist and turn. And then it's Harrison,
Yeah.
and he's like Australian. He's a diamond dealer, which sounds kind of sketchy. But it is what it is. We'll see.
Hmm.
And then Nicole's like, he's Australian. Where's Liv? And
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
would have been
maybe he was
perfect.
meant for Liv.
Yeah.
But then someone
Janae
didn't
and
let that happen.
Aaron recognized him immediately. Aaron's like, yo, the gold guy from season 5.
Get out of here, mate. From season 5. And Janae's like, is he from last season? I'm like, this is too
And
much.
then they say he will get news in 24 hours. So Harrison enters.
Yes. And that's how
Uh
that episode ended. Okay, with episode 28, it picks back up with Harrison. And
entering.
he's at the fire pit and everyone's just freaking out about him, especially Aaron. He's like, "Oh my gosh, he's gorgeous. Look at him. He's gorgeous. Look at him. Look at him. He's gorgeous." I'm
I
like,
guess
"Okay,
Miguel
Aaron."
had to be like, "You're in a couple, mate." He said something like
He
that
did.
to Aaron, and I'm like, "Yeah, Aaron, relax."
Yeah, Aaron, you're not beating your
Um,
allegations. But
First
the
thoughts though, who do you think who would you want Harrison to pair up with? I low key wanted him to like try to chat with Kaylor.
um yes and no. I don't know, because I remembered in Aftersun he said Nicole and Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, Catherine's not there anymore. So I
Mm-hmm.
expected him to come for Nicole. Um, I would, but then it would just be more Kaylor and Aaron. So I was just like, I was
Yeah.
expecting like Daniela or Sierra,
Yeah.
which
You were
kind of
expecting
happened.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
just cause I'm like, cause I didn't think he'd come for like maybe Janae, but I don't think like Serena or Janae or them would be open like that anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard. I think honestly, it's a late for a bombshell to come in.
It is late. It's super late.
It's kind of like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But the girls do chat with him, and they ask him like, "Oh, who are you interested in?" And he's like, "You'll know." And he
Mm-hmm.
makes Nicole laugh. Nicole, here's the thing: Nicole and Kendall are closed off, but Nicole's eyes are not closed off. Her eyes tell a different story. She's like, "Yeah, I'm closed."
Yeah, I don't know. She's just like I'm not I don't know. It's
I
hard to
don't think
read
she'd
whether like
cross a line, but she likes him, I think.
I don't know if she's just being friendly or what. But Brandon, did you peep how they were all talking about their careers?
Yeah, that was like random. They were like,
Leah does
oh no, you go. Sorry.
Leah does quality control for medical devices. Daniela is an inspiring vet. Kaylor works with autistic kids and just graduated with a psychology degree. And then Serena is a media strategist, which I knew, but she like talks about it more
Yeah.
on on TikTok. I don't know who said it. Somebody was like, "Taylor is into psychology. Is the psychology in the room with us?" And I was like, "Oh no,
You
Taylor."
know, maybe she
That's
just can't apply it to her own life.
I'm,
That
I'm sure it's
happens.
really easy to talk to people. You give people great advice that you would never follow. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Um, and then Leah was kind of doing the most. She's like, "My mom would think you're hot." And I'm like, "Leah, what are you talking about? You're
Mom,
embarrassing
look.
me." It was embarrassing. I was like, I don't know. I got secondhand embarrassment from that comment. I was like, why are you saying that?
Yeah, that was kind of random. But Harrison does ask Sierra for a chat. And the
Mm-hmm.
conversation's kind of dry, but they look like they'd be like hot together, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
she's like, I'm all about peace and I like meditate a lot. It's like, okay. But then
Okay.
says he looks like Chris Hemsworth and Jesus. And it's like, I guess. I don't know.
I did not think this man was that fine.
He
He must look better in person. On TV, his hair looks oily and greasy, and
that
that's
could
pretty
be
much
it.
it.
Yeah, because in person's different. So maybe he does look
Yeah.
better in person.
And they
Um,
say he's really tall, but I can't tell.
yeah, because Kenny's like, he's taller than me, and I'm
What?
tall. I'm like,
Okay.
he asked Nicole
Um,
for a chat, and I did laugh at Kendall's reaction. I thought it was
Kendall's
really
like,
funny.
fuck.
He's like, oh,
Damn.
and everyone's just like laughing. I'm like, that was funny.
Yeah.
But Nicole swooning over him. She is. She's like, me and Kendall are close off, but I'm not going to make anyone feel unwelcome. And he says if he
Yeah.
came in earlier, he would have gone for her, but he tells us he doesn't think she's as closed off as she says. Now, I
Yeah.
think she is, but I'm still like, she likes us. I don't
I
know.
I don't know. I don't know if she's just overly friendly or if she's overtly like flirting. I didn't really see. She didn't say anything flirtatious, but
She
like she's just
didn't.
like kind of cheesing in his face, and so maybe that's why he's like maybe they're
Yeah,
not
she looks
close because of how
giddy
she looks.
almost. I don't know.
She is. Kendall was like, "Who's up for another love triangle?" Like, it
I'm
is
like,
what it is, Kendall.
right. He's trying to act
Um,
like he's not worried, but he's totally freaking out. And the
yeah.
girls chat. Sierra's into him.
Hmm.
Nicole says no one will compare to Kendall. And it's like,
Hmm.
I'm sure someone will, but you know. And
They
this is, I
clock how
think, when,
tense the boys seem.
oh, yeah, because they're like playing like ping pong and
Uh-huh.
stuff. But then I think, what is it? Is this when he like randomly takes his shirt off and Daniela and
Yeah.
Leah are like, oh my God. I'm like, this is funny.
Daniela says she's wet, which goes dead. I was like, oh my gosh, Daniela, you're so... this is the personality that I've been waiting for.
I
Like, I think
know.
Daniela is low-key funny.
She is, and she seems to be getting along with the girls. Like her and Leah seem to be cool. I'm like, okay, like
Hmm.
I like this Daniela we're seeing more of.
And then
But
Nicole starts joking with her and says that Harrison looks like someone who could throw Daniela around, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, stop!"
don't
And I
say
was
that to
like,
me. I'm like,
it
ooh,
was funny.
it was good. And she's like, this is what Love Island needed.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have anything else for the night. Do you?
Well, during bedtime, everybody's like super cuddly. All of the sheets are ruffling this night. And I
Oh
guess
yeah.
Leah and Miguel were being too loud because Caine
Oh
gets
yeah.
up and sleeps in soul ties and like Sierra joins him. Caine looked pissed. He
He
was like
did.
laying down and he like shook his fists and
He's
got
like,
up and
what is
left.
happening? And at first I thought it was Kaylor and Aaron, but then it was Leah and Miguel.
I
And I'm
had to
like,
like go
ooh.
back and be like, who is that? And it was Leah and Miguel.
Yes, because the next
Uh,
morning they're like talking about it, and Leah's like, we went at it for like 3 hours. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Miguel
Um,
said he slept for like two.
I know. I felt bad. That is frustrating when you're sleeping or you're trying to sleep and you just can't.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's people that are being loud and then you have to like sleep
Yeah.
outside. I'm like, I wonder how comfortable Soul Ties is because people tend to go there to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll fill you in later.
But the girls are talking about Harrison when they're getting ready, and Daniela says
Hmm.
she likes Rob a lot, but wants him to shake in his cowboy boots a little bit and wants to chat with Harrison. And I'm like, I don't know if he will shake.
I don't know if
I
he'll
think he'll
shake. He
say
might
he'll
just,
shake. But
yeah. He's like, oh, you're going on a date? Okay.
right. That's great. Good for you.
Yeah.
It's like he's also
Um,
AI.
Rob.
Court,
Rob
yeah.
has cooled down a lot lately. He's been way more chill. I don't know if he's just sleep deprived or whatever, but he seems like a normal person now,
He
whereas
seems
before he
like,
was just doing a lot.
yeah, it seems like he's uninterested in everyone.
Hmm.
Like he's definitely hasn't been interested in anyone like he was in Leah and Andrea.
Yeah.
Um, but Kordell brings breakfast and it's funny because he's like carrying it with tongs and like acting scared, and then him and Serena laugh about it. And I'm like, that was
Uh,
funny.
that was funny. Yeah, I remember that time she was like really inappropriate and super rude to you. Yeah, that was really
Twitter was
funny.
like,
I was
see, this is why you need to have your man scared a little bit. And I'm
like,
like, oh,
I don't condone her behavior, but I'm glad they can laugh about it now.
you
And
know,
I
it was a
guess
moment.
it was in the morning she told the girls that she's letting her guard down more, but not too much.
She did, which, that's
Hmm.
Serena. She's always going to stay a little guarded. But as we see, she opens up. She
Hmm.
does. And he
Hmm.
likes it. Because at
He
one point,
does.
she's like, I know I'm tough. And he's like, yeah, don't change that. He likes,
Yeah,
he
he
likes the
does.
fight. Um,
Yeah.
Kendall and Nicole have a random date in Seoul. Oh, I thought it was random. I guess the
Yeah.
milestone was surviving the fourth recoupling. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. But then Kenny brings them breakfast that Kendall had made before, but he wanted someone to bring it to him.
Well, like I think he was like, I want this to be really special. And he was like, somebody I think suggested, like, oh, someone should bring it to you. And Kenny was like, I'll do it. So they have like a sweet breakfast, and then he like casually mentions she was like, oh, my dad makes great pancakes or something. And he's like, I'd love to meet him one day.
Oh yeah.
And I
And
was
she's
like,
like,
okay.
"Oh, maybe."
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm like, "We'll
She's like,
see."
not this being real life. I was just talking
She's
about my dad in passing, but I
she's
guess
like,
you can
"Wait a
meet
minute. I
him.
was just saying these pancakes aren't as good as my stepdad's." Like, what do you mean?
Right, with their stepdad.
But Harrison gets a text. He has to go on 3 dates and he has to choose the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And his first choice is Sierra, which
Mm-hmm.
okay. Um, Leah says Caine shouldn't have left her in the bed alone. He's reading the handbook on how to do everything wrong and is succeeding. And it was funny because as she's getting ready, they all have like a funny dance. And Daniela, they're like, "It's a bad day to be Caine, a bad day to be Caine." I'm like,
Yeah,
that's funny.
it is. And Caine
Um,
is being a little weird. He was like,
he is.
he'll be upset if she doesn't tell Harrison that she's with him. I guess he says this to the guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not really how it works, but sure.
Right? And y'all just got together. Unless there's
Literally.
something we're not seeing, I'm like, this doesn't
Maybe
seem,
super deep.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he seems to have a lot of insecurities.
Yeah.
But they do have a boat date and it seems really nice. It's like a nice view. And she seems to
Well, it
really
was
like
like
him.
near boats. It was on a
Yeah.
dock where boats are, and they are not on a boat.
They weren't. I was like barely. I know. I think it looked like they were like, yeah, like they
They're,
set it up to look like the edge of a boat, but it wasn't a boat.
yeah, they were like on the dock.
Oh, they dressed it up. That's funny.
But it was cute.
It was. And she had the most energy I've ever seen her
Yeah,
ever
we see her
have.
personality.
We do. And they like make out. And I'm like, I see this. This is like a good vibe. I like them together, kind of.
Hmm
Um,
she's her interests are all over. She likes to meditate, box, and DJ. It's like you got a lot of hobbies.
they're kind of all over the place. I like to be calm,
Um,
fight, and then listen to loud music. I'm like, okay.
yeah. Yeah. And then they make out, and then he tells her like, I'll find you tonight. And I'm like, Harrison,
Okay,
you're a little
Harrison.
Harrison knows what to say. He's
Okay,
like, I'll
John
look for
Smith.
you.
I'll
Wait
look
for
for
me
you.
later. I'll wait for you. I'll look for you
I'll be there
tonight.
for you, Sierra.
Yeah.
Uh, but it cuts to Serena doing Cordell's hair, and that's such a
Mhm.
cute moment.
It was super cute.
And they have like their banter, and the internet love this moment.
And he tells her he feels like he can be himself with her, and I thought it was super cute. I guess Serena's been doing Cordell's hair this whole time because he had braids initially. Someone did his braids again, and then he's been looking dusty for a couple of
Yeah, I think
episodes.
Andrea was like on TikTok or something, and she said that Serena was supposed to do his hair, but then
Yeah,
when he came back from Casa, she wouldn't.
yeah, of
So
course.
maybe like I think the whole thing was like, "Oh, we'll see if she's gonna do it. If she does, that means like they're good and like she forgave him." So it's
Yeah,
funny that they showed it.
yeah.
Um, and then Kane's feeling jealous about the date with Sierra and Harrison. And, Sierra does tell Harrison her and Kane are a recent situation, and he's happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, "You surprise me. Usually attractive guys aren't very down to earth, but you are."
Okay.
Great, Sierra.
I don't know what Harrison even said to that. He was just like, yeah.
Right? And what
Um,
has he said that's down to earth? He's like, "I like family." I feel like he said he likes family, but everyone says that. If he even
yeah,
said
because he
that, I
said
might be making
something
that up.
like, I remember him, I don't know if it was during this, but I remember him saying like that his career kind of grew with time and like, he blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't really know where she got that from. Maybe maybe there was something that we didn't see them talk about.
maybe. But then Nicole gets a text
Yep.
and Harrison is asking her for a date and Kendall is pissed. He's like, I can't believe he's doing this. Like, doesn't he know? Like, da 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 da.
We're
I'm like,
closed
is this
off.
Kendall's karma?
Mm.
And Nicole's like, I still want to look hot and like, I
Yeah.
can't say no. So like, hmm.
She's
And so
like,
she looks great.
I wanna converse.
I want to converse.
But yeah,
I
no,
won't
she
be
looks
rude.
amazing. Yeah.
Uh, and then Kendall claims no couple has been tested like him and Nicole. And I'm like, what? What test? What do you mean?
I guess
This
he's
is
talking
him
about
trying to set
Miguel.
up like the winning. He's like, celebrate our fourth
Uh,
recoupling. No one's been tested like us. I'm like, the Miguel thing was like barely anything. Like she
yeah,
liked him
it
for like
was,
a day or two.
if we remember correctly, it was everything to Kendall and barely anything to anyone else. In
Yeah.
Kendall's head, he has been fighting these men back when like they just casually they walk up to Nicole and
He's
say hi, and he's like, "Get back, she's mine."
he's like, I get it. Nicole's a beautiful girl. Like this is what you'll have to deal with, but it's tough. And I'm like, all right, Kendall.
Anyway,
But Nicole gets to her date and she instantly compliments Harrison's eyes and says it looks like the water,
yeah,
which maybe that helps with the allure. Um,
yeah,
Harrison says he took a chance asking Nicole on a date, and she says she
mm-hmm,
understands because she was once a bombshell. So she's been in his position before where it's like maybe you have to talk to people that are already with someone.
mm-hmm.
But I do think they have a connection. And I was like
They do.
laughing during this because I'm like, if Kendall wasn't there, they would be together. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. I mean, I don't
Or at
really
least
see
they
what they
would
click on.
pursue things.
They would definitely pursue things if Kendall wasn't there. Yes, I agree. Because
Yeah.
he's like, I don't have a lot of time in here, so I want to talk to people I want to talk to, which makes sense. Harrison doesn't hold back, and he doesn't owe anybody shit, and he definitely doesn't behave like it. So I respect him for the way he's doing it. He's like, there's not a lot of time left, and I have 24 hours apparently, so I need to hurry up and do
Right.
something with this.
He's like, we have about less than 10 episodes left of this season, so I gotta get the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
But he is respectful, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't cross any lines. But then
Mm-mm.
Daniela gets a text to join Harrison for a date,
Mm-hmm.
and Sierra returns, her and Caine chat, and he is very upset. And he's all like,
Yeah.
you need to make your mind up. And if you want to have another chat, with Harrison, I'm not gonna be interested anymore. And yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Miguel.
And she like had to repeat him. So she's like, just so I get it. So if I have a chat with him, you don't want to chat with me too. And he's like, yeah, no, no. And then she in her confessional, she's like, I don't owe him any loyalty. I don't understand where this is coming from. And I'm like, yeah, Caine,
Yeah. I'm
you
like, you're
barely
too
seem
ugly to
interested
be
in
this
her.
bold. You need to stop.
Brandon. Oh my
What?
God.
Liv
I
said it
wouldn't
first.
Liv said he has horse teeth.
She
She
did.
didn't say he was ugly. I guess they're veneers, apparently. I don't know. Caine is all right. He's not ugly, but he's not like amazing. He's
Uh,
not Harrison.
He's not Harris. But yeah, that was a wild thing to say after their one date.
One date, immediately he's like, "How did it go?" Okay, so yeah, if you chat with her, yeah, I'm done. Yeah,
If you
yeah,
talk to
I
him
don't
again,
want
if
to.
you look in his direction, we're done. I'm like, okay.
A little territorial for a dating show, but I wonder if that's influenced by just how things are going. Like everybody is kind of like closed off, so maybe he feels like
Maybe.
they should be too, like kind of like solidified in their couple. So maybe he feels like they should be too.
I guess, but it's like the closed off couples are the couples that have been together for like a long time. Like he just
Mm-hmm.
got with Sierra. It's just
Yeah.
weird. But Daniela joins Harrison and she tells him she still likes Rob, but thinks he seems sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, why did you pick me? And basically he just says, you were attractive. Because he says like
One.
some other stuff, but it's essentially like you were beautiful. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Sierra tells the girls that she wants someone that's obsessed with her, and Caine just doesn't have that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole returns and says, personality wise, he reminds her of Kendall, but she was missing
Mm-hmm.
Kendall the whole time. But it was overall a
Mm-hmm.
good date.
Yeah.
And Nicole takes Kendall to the dock and she's just like, it's okay, like you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
anything. And like I was thinking about you the whole time, and he was like, thank God. And I'm
I
like,
appreciate the reassurance.
with this fabricated ass um drama thinking it was gonna end to try to like
Hmm.
give y'all something to worry about.
How long
Um,
was she gone too? Because he was like, I missed you. And I'm like, was it more than a couple of hours?
I don't know, because I feel like usually they're gone longer than you would think, because it takes long to
Yeah.
like set up and there's a lot of like
Hmm.
waiting, I think, like with
Yeah.
reality TV in general. So,
Yeah.
but it seemed like it stayed light outside, so I was like, she wasn't gone that long.
Yeah.
But Daniela and Harrison return, and Daniela says he's a really good guy, but they didn't kiss. And he tells the guys that he was happy with the dates, but he keeps his
Hmm.
cards very close to his chest and he's not
Yeah,
really
they're like,
giving
"Did you kiss
details.
anyone?" And he's like, "I don't kiss and tell." And they're like, "So who do you want to get to know?" And he was like, "You will see." And
You will
Kendall's
find
like, "So
out.
he gets up, he's like, "So I'm gonna go for a swim." And Kendall looks at the guys and he's like, "Yeah, he basically told us nothing."
Yeah, we didn't get any information out of him. And
Nope,
it's like, I kind
nothing.
of like that.
Yep.
And then Sierra tells the girls what Caine said, and they say Caine is like wild for that. Like, why would he
Yeah.
say that?
Yeah.
Um, it's nighttime, and Kenny, he like walks to the bathroom. He's like, guys, what do we think about this outfit? And it's just like a blue shirt and white pants. But there was something so funny about the monotone. What do we think?
It's like, it's cool, dude. Like,
It's nice. It's a pretty basic outfit,
yeah.
but okay.
I mean, no elbow pads today.
Very true. That was good. That was a step up for Kenny.
Hmm.
Kendall gets attacked and they have to gather at the fire pit. And essentially, Harrison has to steal a girl. And he's
Hmm.
giving like this speech. And I guess everyone thought it was going to be Nicole.
I thought it was gonna. I thought it was gonna be Daniela.
I thought it was going to be Sierra because Sierra was the only one he kissed.
Yeah.
And like it seemed like their date lasted longer than the other two, at least from
Yeah.
what they showed. And I don't know, because like, I don't know why, because he was like, this is a great girl that's so funny and amazing. And they're like, it's
Yeah.
Nicole. And they're like, it can't be anyone else. It can't be Sierra or Daniela. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, y'all. Um, but I don't know. I think that was a little hyped because I was like, I don't think he's gonna pick Nicole. Why would he pick Nicole?
Right. And like Caine seemed really nervous, so that made me think it would be Sierra. But he's like, the flow was very natural. The attraction with this person is like spot on. She's very elegant, classy, and bubbly. I want to do what feels right. And I'm like, okay, Harrison, you don't know this person very much, but
Right? And so,
so
yes, he picks Sierra. Him and Caine trade places.
yeah.
It was funny because they put like in the subtitles that he said, thanks, Muppet to Harrison, but he says he didn't say that. And I'm like, I
I
feel
don't
like
think
he
he
did it.
did.
I think it was like his accent. He probably said something else. And
Listen, we can barely understand the dude anyway. Did you peep how anytime Caine talked, the captions would appear?
they would.
Like I couldn't understand Caine very much either. He talks in cursive.
He does. He's a funny
And he
one.
has an accent, so it doesn't help.
It doesn't. Miguel.
Um,
But then Caine gets a text and he is
mhm.
dumped from the island and has 5 minutes to pack up and leave. And I'm like, bye.
Brandon, I was so surprised. I was like, "What? You're dumped?"
I know, right? I'm like, that's a twist. I guess they gotta get rid of people, and like it's towards the end, so they're giving all these like twists and turns.
Love Island's like, "Get out." But I mean, it literally doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. But I was
Because
okay
we
with it.
know, yeah, I was fine with it. I didn't like Caine very much either. I was like, bye, but also like that was very abrupt. Everybody
It
was
was.
shocked. Even Harrison was like, damn, sorry, mate. And Caine was like, no, it's okay. I had a great time and it was great meeting to get to know you all. I made great friends.
He's like, no one cry. And no one was crying. You
You're
don't
like,
have to
we're not
cry.
about to shed any tears. See, Caine has seen too much. He's like, this is how everybody reacts without no. Liv was a special case. You
Live, we
can't
love
expect.
live.
We loved Liv. We don't know you, man.
No. Um,
um
so that was the end of that episode. And then the next one
mhm.
was the Aftersun.
After
Um,
sun.
which this one was
Oh,
fun.
who'd you vote for? There was a
Oh,
vote.
yes, there was a vote. We had to vote for our favorite couple. I voted for Janae and Kenny.
Boo. I voted for Serena and
I
Kordell.
was gonna vote for them. I felt like both is gonna get enough votes, so it's fine. But I just was
Yeah.
like, I feel like Kordell and Serena are gonna get more. So I was like, let me vote for Janae and Kenny just to give them a
Yeah,
little.
a little boost. I'm
Yeah,
expecting Harris. I mean, I don't Harrison and what's her name were on the vote, which I think is wild.
that is because it's like they don't really know them.
Yeah, so I expect them to kind of be on the lower side, and Aaron and Kaylor might be on the lower side too.
Well, isn't it? I think a couple, the bottom couple's gonna leave.
I think so too.
Something like this is gonna be like a clear cut, like whoever got the least amount, I think.
Yeah,
At least
so
that's the impression.
we'll
So if
see.
that's the case, it might be, it's gonna be either Harrison and Sierra, Rob and Daniela,
Mm-hmm.
or Aaron and Kaylor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
we'll
we'll
have to
see.
see what happens.
We will.
Um, but yeah, After Sun was really good.
It was good. It was interesting. Katie Maloney from Vanderpump Rules was on.
Katie.
So the first segment, Katie and Ariana are on. And
Mm-hmm.
Katie says men disappoint her, but she's used to
Mm-hmm.
that and she loves the
Mm-hmm.
women's friendships and sees herself in them. They thought Aaron handled movie night terribly.
Yep.
There was that funny segment of Mara admiring Harrison and the
Mm-hmm.
last Aftersun. I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then essentially they say, their favorite moment was Kordell and Serena. And Ariana's like, I'm glad that he like let her express her emotions. They were able to
Yeah.
work through them and like get it
Mm.
together. And Katie was like, I was rooting for Kordell and then he did Casa, but now I'm like, okay, I can see them lasting. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. Um, Liv comes out, and this is where we get the montage that she had said
Mm-hmm.
that we talked about earlier. And they were like, why didn't you make a connection with anyone? And she's like, I just feel like I was either too similar to the guys or it was just friends. Or Hakeem and I would just yell at each other. And I'm like, yeah, you guys would. Oh,
And they're
Hakeem.
like, what about Caine? You didn't even mention Caine. And she's like, guys, don't even ask me about
I
Caine.
had to pick someone.
Yeah.
They do ask about Rob, and she's like, it was more just flirting than anything. But that if she was Rob, she wouldn't want Daniela because she was so close with Aaron.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get that, but I'm
I
like,
get it.
they chose to. Like, this is their. Anyways,
Yeah.
she said she learned to yell a little less and that everyone has their own journey and she doesn't need to fight others' battles. But Katie reassures her, don't lose your voice. It's what makes you great. And I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, Liv, that's what I like about you the most is that you stand up for people. Sometimes you need
right?
people to stand up for you, especially in these group settings where it's like, if I was there, I
Overwhelming.
would just, exactly, I would just shrink down. But it was like nice having someone on your defense all the time.
It was. I'll miss Liv. Um, Leah and Miguel pop up from the villa,
Hmm.
and he just goes into how like he realized after returning to Casa, he immediately wanted Leah back. He feels he can be himself with her, and he wants to be with her whether or not they make the final. And she's like, "We want to make the final." And then he's like, "They're like, do you want to win?" And he's like, "It would be great, but I want to be with her even if we don't win." And she's like, "I want to win and give me the money."
Yeah, like he was saying that, and Lee was just like smiling, but she
No, we
wasn't
want to
like.
win. We want to win. Vote for us and give me the money. I'm like, period. Daya, Catherine, and Caine pop up. Daya was
Hmm.
happy to leave, which honestly, she seemed like she was over it and happy to leave
Yeah,
by the end. So I
she only
believe it.
liked Kordell, so I get it.
Right. Caine says that what he said to Sierra in regards to a date, not a chat. And I'm like, but like you mentioned earlier, Sierra repeated it and you still said,
Yeah, and what are you talking about, Caine? People can't just go on dates and leave the villa, so that's sounds like a cop out to me. If she
it
went on
does.
another date, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Um, he's being stupid.
he
Just own
is.
it. You were jealous, you didn't want her talking to other people.
Right. Catherine says her and Janae actually got pretty close, which is nice to hear. And then Daya's like, I didn't expect me and Cordell to click that quick. And I just thought going in that Serena and him had a great friendship, but not romantic. And I'm like, well, that's what happens when you don't pay attention. You don't
And
see
you don't
everything.
know.
And
You
you
don't know
did
the whole
expect it to be
story.
quick. You were going after him even during the Aftersun before you guys went into Casa.
Yeah, she should have
Um,
asked him more questions about his connection with Serena instead of assuming that she knew everything.
that part. She does say the comments on the Odell Beckham post was Photoshop, and I believe it.
I believe it too.
Because they looked weird. It's no longer there. The screenshot looked iffy. I'm like, nah, this looks photoshopped.
Yeah.
Um, but Serena and Kordell left Daya goodbye messages. And Serena's was like really sweet and was like thanking her for helping her grow and like get through everything. And
Yeah.
Kordell apologizes for leading her on. And it's just like, I'm glad you came back to the villa and helped me realize my other connection. It's
But he
like
did say sorry.
he
And even
did.
when she was leaving that night, he said sorry to her.
He did. And she seemed like at peace, like, oh no, it's all good. And whether or not
Hmm.
that's true, we'll
We will
see.
learn.
We will learn after the fact. Um,
Hmm.
but then Ariana returns and she spills some tea. She says, there's gonna be the heart rate challenge, and this is where Cassie will come in. And I'm like, why is Cassie coming in? Like
Yeah.
everyone I've heard talk about Cassie coming in, they're just like, why is she coming in?
Yeah, my friend who watched last season was like she hates
Oh
Cassie.
shit.
And so I'm like, damn, Cassie, people are not a fan of you.
They're not. But apparently Mara is gonna come in as well and will reveal the public vote. And, then they have like this sit down where they're saying fans are very passionate and concerned about Leah and think Rob and Aaron get away with things. And that I think it's basically because after the movie night, I showed the clip of Leah going off on Rob. Us as viewers know the reason behind it, but they kind of acted
Yeah,
as if she did it for no reason and like painted Rob as
right.
this victim. So I
Hmm.
think they were basically saying a lot. They were getting a lot of stuff on social media. Like even Ariana was getting stuff like, "We have to like, what is going on with Leah? Like this isn't right. Like you need to do something." And it's like Ariana's the host. What is she like? What do you mean?
Yeah.
And then so they're just getting a lot, and they're basically saying we love the passion, but y'all shouldn't be leaving hate comments on other people's posts because these are real people.
Which is just confusing to me. I don't think that's what America is saying. I think America is saying y'all are giving Leah a bad edit on purpose. You're making
Hmm.
her, the way you're editing this movie night makes her look like she's the bad guy. And she's
Yeah.
even saying, I feel disgusted with myself, blah, blah, blah. Who's leaving her hate? Sounds like they're trying to defend her. So,
No, I
like,
think that's what they're saying the people want like justice for Leah. I think they're talking about like the other people are getting hate.
like Rob is getting hate.
Probably and like Aaron and like maybe even like the Casa girls. Because fans online are passionate. And
Uh,
look, we talk about stuff on the podcast, but we're not like leaving comments. And I think there's one thing
Absolutely
to
not.
recap it. It's another thing to like spew hate. And like
Yeah,
there are a lot of trolls online is the thing.
I get it. I get it. It's like it's double edged. Like you go on a show, you should expect people to be crazy because that's just how people are in 2024. We have things online, whatever. But yeah, I don't even want to follow Rob. Like I'm not going
Right.
to his page to comment on his stuff. Like that is kind of crazy. And people leaving people death threats and stuff, like that's insane. Like
Yeah.
if y'all do that, I do not support it.
Same. I'm like, calm
I
down,
won't
y'all.
condone it. I don't like Aaron and Rob by the people who they are on the show. I don't really know Aaron and Rob, so I'm not gonna like
Right.
project this onto their lives and say that they're bad humans because we only see
Exactly.
clips of a show. We just see their behavior in these moments, and it's kind of and honestly, production will edit things to make them look a certain way. Do I actually think Rob and Aaron act like this in real life? I don't know.
I hope
So
not.
I hope not, but I don't know them. And Rob looks like he's part of an acting family.
So this
So
is just one big performance. So we'll see.
yeah, like I don't even know if Rob is. I think Rob is playing. Some people online really think Rob is playing a character, and if that came out to be the truth, that wouldn't surprise me
No,
because
same.
I keep seeing all these videos of him doing TikTok dances at the gym and stuff, and I'm like, who is this bubbly personality? Like on social media, you're dancing, and then on the
Yeah.
show, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm hard to read. The fuck? You're like
It's
two different people.
he's wild. Those dances are a lot.
It
Um,
doesn't look like the guy we see on the show, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, don't leave people
no.
death threats. Don't hate on people. That's crazy. And I don't know. This whole moment in Aftersun just confused me because I was just like, why aren't you guys just explicitly saying it? They were like, it was
Yeah.
kind of coded. Like, oh, some people are worried about Leah. Tell us why we're worried about Leah. Because y'all gave her a bad edit. Like on
Yeah.
purpose.
Which they can't say because then that's calling themselves out.
Right. They can't admit it. So they're just like keeping it
They're
coded.
just
And I'm
like, we
like,
hear you. We got it.
Leah will come out and see how much we love her.
She will. But
Yeah.
that's it for the episodes. But you were going to talk a little about Caine's live and TikTok.
Yo, as of this morning, and it probably is more, as soon as Caine got his phone, this man has been on TikTok
He has. I wonder how
nonstop.
he's charging his phone. I'm like, what are
I
you
guess
using?
from what I see, they put them in a hotel before they went to an airport. And then, so Caine was making videos at the hotel the night he got his phone back, the next morning, on the airplane, in the airport, and now at another hotel. I guess he's like, he had to stop in the US. I don't know. He's making
Yeah.
his way home. As of this morning, he had 67 TikToks just replying to comments, like things that people said. Then he went live. He was live yesterday and he was live on Friday too. I saw his live first on Friday night. So as soon as he
Yeah.
got his phone, he's been on TikTok, which is funny because he made a little post. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do daily lives again." And I was like, "Again?" I look at his regular TikTok posts. He posted like once every 6 months before the show. But I guess he's
Yeah.
just eating it up. He wants to answer questions.
I
So
guess. For
the
someone who
first thing,
barely spoke in the villa, he's saying the most now.
no, for real. And so people are suspecting that he got in trouble, which is why he had such an abrupt exit,
Yes.
which kind of makes sense to me because 5 minutes to pack is wild.
That is. They're like, pack. We actually packed for you. You just
Get
gotta
your shit
go.
and go. No, for real. They were like, Andrea had like 5 hours to pack. Not you have 5 minutes.
Well, it's supposed to be 30 minutes, but she was walking around the perimeter of the villa crying in every area she could.
Talking to people, having chats with people, having chats with
Like, I
Rob.
don't understand, Rob. Anyways,
But they were like, Caine, get out. So I have some theories because we know Cassie is coming in, right?
yeah.
I don't think it would have been an issue for Caine to be single for a day or two because Cassie was gonna need to find somebody anyway, right?
Yeah.
And then, you could have kind of an even number of people. So some people are suspect and he's alluding to the fact that he did something. He didn't see eye to eye to production, but he's not explicitly saying what it is.
Hmm.
Granted, some people during his first live said that he mentioned something about Liv. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
suspecting that they wanted him to couple up with Liv and he didn't. And so they were mad because Liv goes home one night. The next night, Caine goes home.
That's
That's
that
a
live
little weird.
karma. Yeah, I saw it was something like he was supposed to pick Liv, but he wanted to shake it up or something, or he was annoyed. So then, like, he picked Sierra, and then production was
Yeah.
mad. Something
Yeah.
messy.
Something. And I guess he openly says that he did not see eye to eye to production, doesn't like being told what to do, blah blah blah, which tracks from his personality. Like that makes
It
sense to
does.
me. And then people are just asking him questions. So like that's how I learned about the alcohol thing. He's like, yeah, we only get two drinks, and then sometimes we play ping pong for the other drinks. He did say he made like a lot of good friends and stuff, but I guess he doesn't want to watch the show back because he feels like they didn't edit him properly.
I mean, they barely showed you, so
There's a lot. He just kind of talks about a lot. And then
he
he was like
does.
defending Daya. He's like, leave Daya alone. You guys don't even know her, blah 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 blah. But if you I guess if you want to follow Caine on TikTok, you can. Let me give
Yeah.
the
I saw
the
something he
profile.
said Miguel told him that he only sees Leah as a friend and they won't be together after this.
Yeah, he did say that.
And
He's
then
been
something
giving his
like,
opinions on a lot of couples.
yeah, he's like, none of these couples are gonna last. I want
Mm-hmm.
Janae and Kenny to win. Kendall and Nicole are fake. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
like Serena and Leah, I think, because they were talking about him. And I'm like, you're just confirming why we love Serena. And
Right. Yeah, I guess he had some kind of beef with Serena, which is confusing because they asked him who made you feel the most welcome, and he said Serena and Janae. But I
yeah,
guess he bumped heads with Serena over something. I don't really know. They did ask him, like, why did you sleep outside? And he was like, yeah, I mean, everybody was just being so obnoxious. I barely slept anyway, but I kind of liked sleeping outside because, like, it was quieter, it was more peaceful, whatever.
yeah. Which I could see
Um,
that. I just wonder if there's so many like bugs out there. Or there's
yeah, maybe he
beetles
didn't
Rob
care.
finds. So I'm like, there's gotta be something.
I mean, Serena and Kaylor talked a lot about getting bit up by mosquitoes and stuff.
They did.
So yeah, and then he was like defending himself, basically saying that he didn't like mean what he said to Sierra like in a bad way, like it was taken out of context. He also confirmed that he didn't call Harrison a Muppet. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know.
I'm like, okay,
It's
Caine. There's
it's
too
Caine.
much.
It is. It's Caine Fit 7 and he's literally live right now.
Oh my
So
God. He won't stop.
if y'all want some Love Island, if somebody was like, Kane is definitely getting sued, and I would not be surprised.
No, he's like spilling so much. I'm like, there has to be some contract where you have to wait a little bit.
Yeah,
He's like
no, he's
off the plane. He's
instantly.
like, no, the fake as fuck. I fucking hate Love Island. It's like,
He
okay,
was like,
damn.
yeah, I made some friends, but like, yeah, no. And then they're like, would you do it again? And he's like, I would need the wager would need to be bigger if
The
I'm gonna do this
wager.
again. And I'm just like, Kane, what's wrong with you?
Right? And it's
I
just
guess he had a
like,
lot to say.
for someone who was barely on, I don't know,
Right.
has the
And
most to
then
say.
the only other thing that I kind of noted was, I guess he was bothering production about wanting to watch soccer.
Why would
So,
you be able to watch sports? No one else can watch anything.
because I guess England is in like, there's like a cup happening right now. I don't know anything
Oh,
about soccer, but there's some kind of soccer like tournament happening right now. And so I guess he wanted to watch it. So it could be two things. One, they did ask him to pick. I mean, if he was supposed to pick Liv and like he just didn't, I don't see production being like, you ruined the whole show. Like, I think they would have just found another way to make it happen. So I don't know if that's
yeah.
true,
They would have been
you
like,
know?
surprise, we have room for one single, and it's
Yeah.
Liv.
Right. Like, uh, or they would have been like, cut, Caine, you're supposed to pick Liv, like,
That would have been
you
awkward.
know, right. So I don't know if he really did that. I just feel like he was probably a pain in production's ass, and they just wanted him out because he sounds like a handful.
He
He did.
does.
He did say that the showers were really dirty. He is just spilling everything, y'all. If you
Yes.
want to hear Caine talk, he said so much I can't even remember all of it. Literally like making videos on a plane.
But with all that, that's it for these episodes.
That's
And
all.
the next ones, it seems like we're gonna have the heartbreak or heart rate
Yep.
challenge. We're gonna have
Oh yeah,
Cassie.
I looked up what that is.
Oh yes.
So I guess it's like another lingerie thing.
Oh
Excuse
yeah.
me, where like you kind of put on a show in some lingerie and they're tracking everyone's heart rate to see whose heart rate is the highest for which person. So at the end is revealed, like, Magdala, your heart rate was highest when Brandon was going. And
Oh,
then they like say, so
okay.
so they kind of like, so it could be something like, imagine if Leah goes and Rob's heart rate is highest for her. Like, that'd be
Oh,
kind of crazy.
definitely. That will definitely
Yeah.
happen. I saw
And so
people.
that's
Oh yeah, you had told me people joking about Aaron and Rob, like Aaron's heart rate when Rob goes.
yeah. That would
And I'm
be
like,
so crazy.
probably.
Aaron, your heart rate was high. It was when Rob was going. So we'll see. And then like, imagine if Harrison's heart rate is highest when Nicole goes. It would just be messy.
It
Um,
would be.
so I guess
Okay.
on Monday the vote is revealed, and tonight is the heart rate challenge. That's how I understood it.
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised because, like Ariana said, Cassie's supposed to come in and then Mara will come in. I think at the end of the challenge to say the vote. I wouldn't be surprised if tonight's episode Sunday ends with like either Mara appearing. like, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to reveal the vote, or Cassie showing up at the end
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
be like a cliffhanger. But then
Mm-hmm.
thankfully Mondays we're not without it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, with that being said, that's it for today's episode, and we'll be back to talk about the next few. I love how we were like, these episodes were so chill, like it's gonna be fine. I think we talked still for 2 hours, but that's okay. Um,
At least it's not almost three.
this is true. We're just yappers. That's why we have a podcast.
Aw.
Um, but with that being said, thank y'all so much. Make sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Give us
Mm-hmm.
5 stars. We've been seeing there's some more reviews on Apple Podcasts, and they're all so fun and nice, and we
Thank
love them. So leave
you.
us more. And if you
Mm.
want to see our beautiful faces talk about it, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Shade of It All. And if you want to see fun clips, you can follow us on TikTok at the Shade of It All Podcast. We also have an Instagram at the Shade of It All Pod. We will be posting at some point. But you should follow in the meantime. And yeah, we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.